What's good, family? Smash the like button and subscribe. So, your man's Tyson, scary, has reacted to and broken his silence, has spoken out on the recent C-19 allegations made exclusively and proprietarily by the YB. For you man who have been living under a rock, you'll know that about 2 weeks ago now, Tyson Scary royally ducked and bottled his July 24th date, which by the way would be today. Yeah, it'd be tonight. Us man would be within 24 hours or 26 hours of Tyson Scary getting in there with Deontay Wilder. Instead, we had the rug pulled from under our feet. And then, as I told you man, not only was the rug pulled from under our feet, the reason it was done so was a lie, which was exposed by the YB. The YB brought you man the leaked pictures. The pictures of Tyson Scary standing there, all in the video, with his fans, smiling, bouncing off the walls, hugging, doing all sorts. He was supposed to be sick. Oops. He was supposed to be super sick, suffering from the Tyson Scariant, yeah? The latest thing the government are talking about, the Scariant, which is what obviously what they call it, which is the brand, not the brand, which is the, what is it, what's that word? Which is the mutation, which has come out of where they believe to be Vegas now, yeah? This variant called the Tyson Scariant is believed to have originated out of Las Vegas. No doubt. So whilst this mutation developed in Tyson Scary's camp, aka the Scariant, licked down his old team and licked himself out for 3 months. He alleged he had the Scariant. He alleged him and his team were suffering from the Scariant. Next thing we know, he's all in the video. All in the video all in the casino. Taking all the pictures. And then Tutus, MTK Ultra come out with their brainwashing tactics. They get all of their team shillers to start posting about, oh no, he tested negative. He tested positive. Oh, wait a minute. On the Wednesday, he was singing, football's coming home, it's coming home, Wednesday he was doing that. Thursday he was positive, and Tuesday he was negative. So at what point could you not fight on July 24th then? Because I'm confused. If he was shouting on Wednesday, positive on Thursday, pictured on Sunday in the casino, all in the video, and clean negative on the Tuesday, within, how many days is that? Within 5 days, you've gone, in fact, not even within 5 days, because you was pictured on the Sunday. So within 4 days, you was feeling A-OK. A-OK enough to be in the casino. A-OK enough to be car shopping. That's what you was doing. Anyway, let's get to the point. You've heard the evidence already. I want to just make sure you man are up to date. 2-2s. Tyson, Scary, has now clapped back at the claims and allegations made by the YB. He said the following. And you best believe Tyson Scary going through right now, because the YB, as always, has removed the veil. He said the following. You know what? Let's get to it. He said the following. I couldn't have been more ready for next Saturday. After that, I'd have been just as ready to knock Anthony Joshua out in December. It's not my fault. I'm the last person to blame. I don't have a large entourage, unlike most world champions, with all their arse-licking hangers-on. Since coming back into full camp, I hadn't been anywhere other than my new house, here and the top-ranked gym, nor had my team. The only people whose movements I couldn't completely control were my sparring partners, who change. They came in and out of the bubble, and everyone knows this town is full of C-19. I suspect we caught it from one of them. We caught the new variant, aka what they're now calling, what officials are now calling the Scariant. He goes on. As for the latest Deontay Wilder allegations, mentally Wilder is a broken man. I destroyed him last time in 7 rounds, and I will ruin him quicker next time, inside 5. He knows that if we fought 10 times, I would win 10 times. So there you go then. We just heard there from Tyson. Oh, scary. In fact, no. He goes on. In fact, if we were to fight 10 times, I would win 9 and draw 1. Deontay is going to need help after I crush him again. There were only 10 of us on the team this time. But when we go back into camp for a month in England and another month here, I will cut us to just 4 full time. Me and my head trainer, Sugar Smith Stewart, his assistant Andy Lee, and my old pal, Tim, who organises my life. We will strictly control the access for sparring partners and increase testing. No masseur, no fitness coach, no dietitian, even my 2 brothers who have to wait to join me until fight week here in Vegas. I've suffered enough frustration on this roller coaster. I don't need any more. Any more than I would have risked anyone else's health by coming early out of quarantine. Yeah. I took the pictures because I was so pleased to be out in the sunshine. Waking up every morning to bright hot weather has been vital to stabilising my mental health recovery. I'm relieved and grateful that all of us have come through okay during this terrible time when so many people are passing away. I'm just happy that I'm alive to go back for the 2-week break from training I need. To my beautiful pregnant wife, our 5 kids, and another one on the way. So there we are then. We just heard there from Tyson. Oh, scary. Now I don't know if you man kind of caught on here, but essentially Tyson Scary is banging the sympathy drum. Oh, oh, oh my wife. Oh, oh my kids. Oh. Listen, if you were so worried about your wife and kids, you would have been thinking about that when some next lassie was all on the sun cream, all on your back. Yeah? She was massaging sun cream all into your boobies on your back. Yeah? She was paying the most attention to them big double D's you got hanging off your back. Yeah? She was massaging it all in. So if you was that bothered about your wife and your pregnant wife, you wouldn't have been being pictured doing that, and then worst case, you made your pregnant wife had to fly out in the C-19 times, these stressing times you talk about. You talk about how everyone's passing away from it. They're not passing away enough for you to think, you know what, my wife's pregnant, probably best I don't have some next lassie all on the sun cream, all on my boobies. Yeah, you're Tyson. They're your wife's boobies. Just because you grow boobies on your back, don't mean they're everyone's boobies. They're not community boobies. Yeah? They're your wife's. You know what I'm saying? She expects that the boobies you've grown on your back to be hers. That's what she married you for. She married all of you, including them bubbly boobies that are growing on your back. Yeah? For some, I don't know what planet you're on. Since when is it acceptable to have some next lassie with the sun cream doing way too much and your wife's pregnant? So don't give me that wife and kids business, because you ain't loyal like that. You ain't wife and kids loyal. Now I'm not saying you're infidel. I'm not saying you're infidelous. Yeah, I'm not saying you're an infidel, but you ain't 100 like that. You're like more like 75, I'd say. You don't act 100. You like to throw your wife and kids, and that's how you know someone's going through it. The minute someone starts mentioning wife and kids, they're begging for sympathy. They're begging to be let off the hook. And the way he said, if it's not my fault, I'm the last person who's to blame. What? You're the last person to blame? What are you talking about? You're the one who pulled out. If you ain't to blame, who is to blame? And don't give me all that about, The pictures, I was just so glad to get out in the sunshine. What are you talking about? And again, you can always tell when Tyson Fury is lying. Number one, because his mouth's open. But number two, he'll bring up his family, number one. And you best believe he'll bring up his mental health. Oh well, it's not my fault I was taking pictures despite being positive with the scariant, because the sun was out and I suffer from mental health, so I've got an excuse. My mental health means I can just do what I want because the sun was out and the sun. What's wrong with this guy? But again, you goofy fans allow it. But YB, he's got 5 kids. And? Whose fault's that, as such? Since when does that give you a pass to just do what you want and punk the fans off? Yeah? Kids this, kids that. Mental health this, mental health that. Like I said, we know when you're lying, Tyson. It's easy. Because you bring up you're always begging for sympathy. I prefer you say nothing. Because this, for me, you haven't refuted anything here. It's basically an admission of guilt. Anything I've done wrong, it's because of my mental health. Oh, and by the way, if you didn't know already, I've got a wife and kids. Oh, and my wife's pregnant. See what I'm saying? It's all just begging sympathy. It's all just begging you know what I'm saying? Nothing we hear here is evidence or anything else to convince of innocence, if that makes sense. Nothing he's said makes me think, oh well, he definitely did have C-19, and or his actions are justified after all. Nothing's been said. He's literally admitted everything. Yes, I was out taking pictures, but it was because of my mental health. Yeah? Simple as that. Yes, you're right, YB, you've exposed me fully, but my wife's pregnant. What is this? You big goofy. You have an inability to take responsibility, Tyson Scary. Just listen to the words he used. I'm the last person that's responsible for this. I'm the last person to blame. What is wrong with this man? You are the number one most blamable Don in this situation. Even Wilder, who was a certified bottom. Wilder, who is known as Mr. Bottom. Yeah? He is a bottom. No doubt. Even he smells of roses right now, compared to you. Now you are the bottom, eternally as well. And what you're getting, another thing you'll notice. So not only the kids and wife and the pregnancy, will you hear? Not only the mental health will you hear, he also loves to throw in AJ. That's another thing he loves to throw in. Why? I believe it's because psychologically he knows what the fans want. What do the fans want more than anything? They want to see Tyson Scary versus AJ. Knowing that, he exploits the fans' kind of anticipation and demand for that fight. So he knows psychologically, if I'm ever in a tight fix, I know what to do. I'll throw the fans the AJ fight. Oh yeah, I'll fill AJ in too. See what I'm saying? Trying to kind of reignite the fans' wishes and reignite the fans' hopes. Oh well, yeah, he didn't have C-19. Yeah, he was taking pictures of people and taking the Michael. But you know what? At least the AJ fights. He's back on that. You know what I'm saying? He's back banging that He's back on that bandwagon. All's not lost. Little does he forget that. Again, he thinks the fans are half sharp, which, to be fair, some of you man are, but the YB ain't. He forgets that we've been through all this for 6 months. That for me, I've told you man before. That AJ and Fury is done for me. It's done. I called it. If it don't happen now, it ain't happening. How about that? It's not. It's never happening. This fight will never happen. Simple as that. And the way he uses it, you can just tell. It's a big manipulation. That's all it'll ever be, in my opinion. All he'll ever use AJ for is manipulation. I mean, where's the quote here? What did he say? Oh, I couldn't have been more ready for next Saturday. After that, I'd have just been as ready to knock AJ out. See what I'm trying to say? It's all trying to distract. You couldn't turn up for your July 24th date. What are you talking about? AJ in December. Which you, again, this is the thing. This is the crazy thing. Check this. Fury, again, thinks the fans are that thick, yeah? He forgets that Eddie Hearn has already said months ago, or weeks ago now, that Team Fury refused to sign for December. What's he talking about? Oh, I couldn't have been more ready. Oh, I was ready for Saturday. Oh, I was ready for Saturday. I couldn't have been more ready for Saturday. Oh, and after that, I'd have been just as ready to knock AJ out in December. Be just as ready to knock AJ out in December. How about being just as ready to sign the contract for December? Like I was saying, it's all a big smoke screen. It's all a way to psychologically and emotionally play on the fans and distract you from reality. The reality is, he bottled July 24th. The reality is, he never even signed December 24th. December versus AJ. He refused to. But despite the facts that he bottled July 24th and he flat out refused to do anything in December, in terms of undisputed, he says, I couldn't have been more ready for next Saturday. You couldn't have been more ready for next Saturday. So where was that energy on the Friday when you postponed it for 3 months? What are you talking about? You couldn't have been more ready. You weren't saying that when you were flying Freddie Roach in to your camp because you lost respect with Sugar Smith. Yeah? Now you and Sugar Smith been bouncing off the walls together. You ain't got the same respect for him. Freddie Roach had to get flown in. And Freddie Roach told you, I can't come out because I'm with Pacquiao. Oops. Yeah? Start taking some responsibility. Own it. Yeah. Truth is, I don't know the first thing about C-19. Never had it. I'm just fully scary of rematches. I don't want none of Wilder. For whatever reason. I don't think I can do a better job than I did the first time. And I'm scared about not performing. I'm scared of the pressure. And that's what it is. I'm sorry. Bottom line. Fury's scared to his boots of fighting Wilder again. That's the only conclusion, unfortunately. Because didn't no one ask him to make July 24th a date. Didn't no one ask him to pull out. Didn't no one ask him to reschedule for 3 months. 3 months for what? You've already said that you were so full of energy that you had to be taking pictures with the fans. Why did you need 2.5 months off for? You were just saying about how good you felt and how the sun was out. I don't know about you, man, yeah, but when I'm sick, I couldn't give 2 hoots if the sun's out. I couldn't give 2 hoots if I'm in Vegas. I'm sick. So you was feeling super good to take pictures with the fans in the sun, but you couldn't fight next month. You couldn't fight in 2-3 weeks. Instead, you had to fully cancel the fight and move it into another realm. It's weak. And in fact, before I go, because we've more or less covered this now, I want to read through a few more of the quotes, or a few more that I want to make sure I haven't missed nothing here, because this guy's fully goofy. So he said, wait there. I'm the last person to blame. So if it's not you, then who is it? Oh, I know who it is, Fury. Oh yeah, I'm sure it's Wilder, innit? Yeah. That's what you'd love, wouldn't you? You'd love us to all pile back on Wilder, but I'm sorry, Fury. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's some goofy Fury fans who, in fact, I'm sure, I've seen them. Even to this day, even after Fury lost his backside. I've still got Fury fans trying to tell me, oh, YB, you're part of the LDBC now because... What? I'm part of the LDBC because your mans couldn't turn up to a date that he signed. Oops. You man are shill DBC, yeah? How about that? You are shill DBC. I told you before, the YB don't shill for no one. No one. When you sign a date, you turn up, or you have a good reason not to. You don't be taking pictures with the fans 2 days later. You don't be spinning about positive and negative tests. And by the way, we've seen none of any of it as well, by the way. We haven't seen no positive test evidence. We haven't seen no negative test evidence. Yeah? That's what we haven't seen. And despite all this controversy, guess what? Fury hasn't provided none of that either. I wonder why not. Because in my mind, if people was doubting me, and I'd messed up, as he has with the pictures and whatnot, I'd say, you know what? Let me put this positive test out and a negative test out. So at least I've got a little piece of supporting evidence. He couldn't even do that, which makes sense. Why? Because he ain't got no evidence. It ain't real. How about that? I'm the last person to blame. I don't have a large entourage. And this is what I mean. He's always trying to distract. I don't have a large entourage, unlike most world champions with all their ass licking hangers on. Always trying to distract. Oh look, yeah, look. That comment on its own. Oh, I don't have ass licking hangers on. On its own, that'd be quite fiery, wouldn't it? Oh, Tyson Fury airs out people with big camps. Again, he's always trying to distract. Oh, look, don't look at me. Look, everyone else got arse lickers in their camp. Says the man whose head trainer jumps off the tables with him. With his shirt unbuttoned and with his shades on. Looking like a right muppet. Yeah? Your camp is full of arse lickers on. How about that? And that other guy, that other shilly you've got. What's that little... There's a little guy about 4 foot tall in Fury's camp. Isaac Lowe. He is the definition of an arse licker. He's literally there. He is the weed man. He is the weed man for rappers. Yeah? He's the man he's the man in the group who's there to just take a fall. He's literally a paid shill. Just there, a side man. Legit side man. And you want to talk about arse lickers? Next thing, where is it? The only people whose movements I couldn't completely control were my sparring partners. Yeah, you're right, you couldn't control them, because they was whooping your ass. Huh? How about that? You're right, you couldn't control their movement, because they was moving all over you. Yeah? Your sparring partners had you looking like Tom Saunders, moshed. Your face looked moshed as well. Billy Joe Saunders and Tom Saunders that's what you call karma. Yeah? Billy Joe Saunders and Tom Saunders casted their bare knuckle magic on you, and that's what happened. Yeah? Because when you stood there and did nothing, when Tom Saunders got moshed, little did you know, Billy Ho and Tom Saunders went home and they casted some good bare knuckle magic, and now look at you, getting moshed by your sparring partners. So much so, you had to call the fight off on July 24th, because your egg got lecked off. Yeah? No doubt. They came in and out of the bubble, and everyone knows this town is full of C-19. I'll bet they do. They do now. They do now that your whole camp was licked down with it. The Walking Dead looking asses. I suspect we caught it from one of them. Yeah, here we go. More distraction. Mentally, Wilder's broken. I destroyed him last time in 7 rounds, and I'll ruin him quicker this time. Again, scary. If you was going to do all that, what happened to July 24th? If you was going to do so much of this, so much of that, innit? Why not turn up on July 24th? And that's why I'm not buying it no more. I'm not shilling for Fury no more. I'm not supporting Fury no more. I'm not going to make no videos talking about what Fury going to do. Because he ain't. If he was, he'd have turned up on July 24th. If you book a date and you don't have no decent excuse why you can't make it, that's it, I'm done with you. There's no way I can make another video saying, oh yeah, Fury can do this, Fury can turn Wilder out. Turn him out how? He didn't turn up. He didn't want to be there. The last place, Fury, the truth is, yeah, the last place you wanted to be on July 24th is in the ring with Wilder. How do we know this? Because you pulled out. How about that? The last place you want to be. The fact you pulled out of July 24th is proof that you didn't want to be nowhere near Wilder on that date. In fact, categorically, it's the last place you want to be. Because what do we know now? We know where you won't be on July 24th. So, you can do all the talking you want. But what we do know is, you won't be in the ring with Wilder on July 24th. Yeah? Where's the next part? About he's mentally broken. You're mentally broken. Oh, I'd win 10 times out of 10 if you would. Yeah. Think about it. Just think about that statement for a second. I'd beat Wilder 10 times out of 10. So that means you never lose against Wilder. So why couldn't you fight on July 24th then, innit? Innit? If you genuinely believe you can't lose against Wilder, where was you on July 24th? Oops. Because if I know I can't never lose, how are you not going to turn up? Because you didn't say, oh, I'll beat Wilder 10 times out of 10 if... You didn't say that. You said you beat him 10 times out of 10. Now all of a sudden, you're throwing in ifs. If I believe I'm going to beat someone 10 times out of 10, I turn up. Don't you? Even if I'm sick, I'm turning up because I've got his number. That's the thing as well. That's what your fans believed. Your fans believed you had his number. And that's what you've said. You talked about popping his eardrum for him. You said, listen, I'm going to pop your trainer's eardrum and then pop your eardrum. I just love popping eardrums. You took that good talk. Guess what? July 24th came and you didn't want to pop no eardrums. Where else? There's a few more bits here, I think. Where are we? Where is it here? Yeah, Deontay's going to need help after I crush him, yeah. You need help. Because he's mentally crushed you, by the looks of things. That's why you're missing on July 24th. How about that? There was only 10 of us in the camp. Yeah, I don't care about that rubbish either. Just bringing numbers up. Oh, wait a minute. In fact, Fury's exposed himself. There were only 10 of us on the team at this time. Wait a minute. There were only 10 of us on the team this time. How is it possible then that 10 of you man got it? Every single one of you man got it. And more lies. More proof of lies, isn't it? Fury just admitted here there was only 10 people in his camp. The reports came out, 10 people have got it. So everyone got it then. Despite everyone being vaccinated and tested to the hilt. Everyone got it. You're having a laugh. This guy don't... And it's the thing, when you're telling lies, you don't know how what you say in the future doesn't add up because you're lying. There's no way everyone would have got it. There's no way. Absolutely no way. Unless what we know now is that you did it. You have indeed got the scariant. Yeah, that's what you're suffering from. You are right, actually. You do have the scariant. You are positive for scariant. Super potent scariant as well. Because you and your team stay scary. That's what we do know. Yeah? What else have we got? I think we more or less covered it now. We will strictly control the access for sparring partners and increase testing. Were you not doing it anyway then? Again, we know he's lying, but... Isn't it? Right there a minute, you've got a multi-million-dollar fight, you're 2 weeks out. Guess what? You're sparring, and amazing. There weren't no C-19 for the last year that you've been partying, and you've been doing moshing, and you've been going to fights and whatnot. And there's no C-19 there, you've been just fine. The minute it comes to fighting, 2 weeks out, all of a sudden, magically, out of nowhere, you've got a perfect excuse. Isn't that amazing? I've suffered enough frustration on this roller coaster. You haven't suffered no frustration. You wouldn't know the first thing about frustration. I've spoken to people who have told me, YB, I booked time off work. Now, I booked time off work for July 24th. That's done now. That's frustration. Or, I booked flights. Non-refundable. Hotel, non-refundable. That's frustration. Frustration isn't, well, don't feel like turning up. I'm going to ring Bob Arum and tell him to scrap it because we ain't sold no tickets. That's not frustration. That's just bottling it. Yeah? Frustration is things that you can't control. You can't control losing your bottle. You lost your head. That's what you did do. I took pictures because I was so pleased to be outside. Waking up every morning to bright hot weather has been vital to stabilise my mental health. Not this guy. I've already talked about this part. I'm not going to go over it, but like I said. Kids, wife, pregnant, mental health, and AJ. They are Fury's pillars. When he's in trouble, my wife's pregnant. If he's in trouble, got 5 kids. If he's in trouble, C-19. If he's in trouble, AJ. If he's in trouble, mental health. That's it. And the truth is, you was in trouble in sparring. Yeah? That's the truth. Truth is, what's the word? You picked up the scariant from them sparring sessions. That's where you tested positive from. They knocked the scariant into you. And we saw the pictures. We saw all of the entry wounds. We saw how the scariant got into your body. Because your face was full of scariant marks. Yeah? They knocked the scariant right into you. No doubt. They mushed it all into your skin. You was fully scary by the time you got finished with sparring. That's what did happen. Yeah? And you need to be honest with yourself now. Truth is, my sparring partners knocked the scariant into me. And I'm fully scary right now. I don't want no parts of Deontay Wilder. Ben Davidson's not here to play with my gloves and take all the padding out. So I can get over on my sparring partners. And I can get some confidence. Sugar Smith. I've lost respect for him. He's messy. He's trying to be Pablo Escobar 2.0. Not really feeling it with him anymore. So you're falling apart. Scary. Tyson. But you don't know how to take responsibility. You always try and play the victim. Even here. Oh, I'm the last person to blame. Get a grip. What's wrong with you? You're a goof. You're a scary looking ass goof. That's what it is. And what you need to start doing is giving the fans something to work with here. Some honesty. At some level. You could have come out and said, I don't know, something. Something half decent. Something a little bit honest. Not just lying.